Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian here. All right, we're going to jump on into it. Really excited about bringing this webinar replay to you guys here from Branded Bull. My brother, Adam Fullerton, and his co-founder, Lauren Teal, that own Branded Bull, did this webinar here just a couple of days ago, part of our monthly guest interview or specialist that we try to bring on, part of the Facebook group that we created called Link. A lot of you guys have been joining Link. A lot of you guys are chatting about Link. A couple hundred members in there. It's growing really, really well. That is our private Facebook community where once a week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. we try to do a live stream. They're coaching sessions, bidding sessions, guest interview sessions, big dog guest interviews where we get a $10 million plus business owner on and we can just Q&A with them for an hour, hour and a half. Well, I tapped Adam and Lauren on the shoulder. I said, would you guys mind serving these guys, blessing them? Let's not make it a pitch or anything like that for a website. Let's just talk to them about how they can help grow their business. So Adam and Lauren came on in. They talked marketing, branding, SEO, website audits, Google reviews, and so much more that honestly it was such a great conversation that I wanted to just get out to the rest of you guys. It is an exclusive part of the Link membership, but normally I would share 15 or 20 minute excerpts on our podcast or the YouTube channel, but this was so good that I just wanted to bless you guys, share it with you guys, and give you that full hour and 20 minutes because I learned a ton, and I'm sure you guys will as well. So that being said, if you guys need a website, check Adam and Lauren out. They're just crushing it right now in the industry. I think they've launched to date almost 200 some websites now, I think it is, with you guys, which is absolutely ridiculous. Nominal price point, fair price, high quality. Nobody's doing what they're doing. There's a lot of people that are offering websites. Nobody's doing what they're doing. I will put, my money where my mouth is. Check out our website, brianzalam.com. Check out Dylan Stevenson with Brilliant Gardens. Check out Kayla and Brittany Almond with Almond Landscape. And so many other great folks out there that are getting websites done by Adam and Lauren. They are taking things to the next level. That's Branded Bull and the company Branded Bull Inc. I'll leave a link in the description and you guys can check them out later. But that being said, just sit back, relax, enjoy, take from this, enjoy it, just consume it. Hopefully it helps you guys grow. That was the idea here. There's no pitch. Well, I just wanted to bless you guys with this replay. So without further ado, let's jump on into the webinar replay that we did with Adam and Lauren from Branded Bull Inc. to help you guys grow and become more successful with your lawn landscaping business with a dominating web presence. Let's check it out. It has been a wild last 10 minutes. Facebook moved the cheese again, so gotta love it. We are social media gurus and extraordinaires. Adam builds websites, SEO, and helps you land more website leads. You think with all of us together, we'd be able to put this together and give you guys an awesome meeting. Literally, as I'm going through the settings to turn on Facebook and do a live in there, Facebook deleted the way to share it to the group. So I swear to God, man, if any of you guys are thinking about starting a group or doing social media, call me and I will talk you off the bridge so you don't jump. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to have a really cool time tonight. I got my brother, Adam Fullerton, on here. I pulled his sleeve. I said, hey, I need you to jump into this thing next week. We were actually having a conversation last week, Thursday, myself, him, and then also his co-founder, Lauren. And I said, hey, would you guys mind offering up your services for a half hour? That'd be awesome. Got a group of hungry, motivated individuals. So we're super excited about hanging out with you guys here for the next hour. And we might go a few minutes extra if Adam and Lauren have it available. I don't want to be too much of an expensive first date here. So first off, all you guys, welcome Adam Fullerton. If you guys want to put some stuff in the chat, we'll be monitoring that. And then also number two, around I guess maybe 9:45, 9:50, we'll do 20 minutes of audits on websites. And Adam can take a look at your guys' websites. So start putting those down below if you guys want for Adam to give you any feedback or thoughts or just constructive criticism. And we'll try to handle some live audits as well. So again, maybe if you guys are watching the replay on YouTube, Adam's my brother. About 2 years ago, he was working on launching his own business and company. I did not say, hey man, if you start building websites for the green industry, you'll get rich. It was nothing like that. He showed me his proof of concept maybe about 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And I said, dude, that looks awesome. My company, I was looking to shift gears, get new customers, especially commercial, HOA, higher end accounts. So it's kind of like right place, right time. And I said, hey, I want to support what you're doing. I want to buy a website. And he said, well, I'll build you one. You can try it out. You'll be our guinea pig. I said, no. I want to buy one. I want to try it. I want to be a customer. Let me know how this goes. And after about 2 months, my website was pretty much ready to go. And I said, dude, this will ship if you want to get the news out, get more customers. We got a whole industry that needs some major help. because what folks are currently offering out there, I'm not impressed with. What folks are currently out they're offering, you guys are not impressed with. I've heard that. Adam and Lauren have heard that in the consultations. So I'm telling you what, with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Adam, and he can just rip it for the next 30, 40 minutes. Lauren's playing quarterback behind the scenes, answering your guys' questions and compiling those. But I will just tell you what, they care. They're doing a great job, pretty fair price point, and I think it's really helping a lot of folks grow in their business this season. So Adam, Lauren, thank you guys so much for taking time tonight to be on here. We're not a big formal crowd, but at the same point, I do want to give you guys the honors of giving you a proper introduction. You guys are killing it, crushing it, and I'm really proud to have you guys on tonight. So if anybody's got any questions, leave them down in the comment chat. But Adam, how's your evening going? And welcome to the jungle, brother. Literally,
Yeah,
brother.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, evening's going great. I know I was running behind, so I apologize. We had the little one trying to go to sleep and didn't want to go to sleep, which I'm sure a lot of people on this call deal with. When the little one won't go down, you're just like, come on, there's a Zoom coming up. Let's go to bed.
Right,
I gotta go. I gotta go. So we gotta get work done.
right.
But no, I appreciate it very much to be here. Lauren is here as well. Together, we're Branded Bull. And yeah, I mean, I see so many familiar faces in this chat already. A few of you even have websites through us and would love to have any of you guys speak up. Only if you say good things, of course. Speak up and let them know your experience with us, the team here, and what we're doing for your business. But essentially, at Branded Bull, we specialize in three things. That is websites, graphic design, and branding. And to us, branding is all about the look, the image, the feel, the perception of your business in the minds of your customers, right? And then ultimately, you want to have a positive, professional image. And then you want to cascade that down to things like your website, where people are going to find information about your business and going to Google to learn more. Where do they go to get information about your services and your service area, potentially pricing? How do they get a hold of you? Stuff like that. And then after that is all the other ancillary marketing things you do, from business cards to lawn signs to vehicle wraps. I mean, they should all look consistent. They should all look cohesive. You want to speak one unified message to your customers and the market you serve. So we help with those three pillars and kind of bring that vision to life. Hopefully
I
that
love
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah. Hey, well, so let me ask you this. Let's back up the horse a little bit, or back up the cart, or whatever stupid saying is out there. You have been building websites, like I said, for about, what would it be, 18 months, 2 years almost, probably even for a while before that, because you've been working on this for a year. For anybody who doesn't know your background, and then Lauren, like I said, is compiling questions. So maybe give her background a little bit too. Like, this isn't something that, again, was fly by night. This is very thoughtful. You guys have a real business. You pay taxes. You have great revenue, great projections. Like, you guys are really treating this like a real marketing company, ad company, website design company, branding company. This is not something where you're just like, hey, I need a quick buck. I'm trying to quit my job. I really, really do want to let folks know like why and how you guys are different. So give me like 2 or 3 minutes here. Again, guys, there's no pitch tonight. I'm not here to sell you a website. Adam's not here to sell. Well, Adam probably would like it if you bought a website. I have no pitch tonight. I'm just telling you guys, genuinely speaking, I'm really impressed with what Adam and Lauren have been doing the last couple of years. I'm really impressed with Adam. Just as my brother the last 4 or 5 years, he's been on his own entrepreneurial journey, coming from corporate America, climbing the what he thought was the right ladder. And I won't put words in his mouth, but maybe that ladder was you guys, one of us, this last couple of years. So that's really, really cool to see that growth as well. So Adam, give me like 5 minutes of your background. I think, just because you're my brother, some folks, just say maybe you're getting, some freebies and some handouts. I will tell you, you've worked for every single thing you got.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Nepotism is, I'm a fan of it currently, right, in this scenario, but the proof is also in the pudding, and we wouldn't be here if we're not delivering on our promises. And just like any business, just like everybody here, you guys are all business owners and entrepreneurs to some degree, whether this is full time for some of you or maybe part time for some of you. We all aspire to have a better life and provide a better again, life for our families. And through that, it's a journey. You learn, you adapt, you evolve, and you continue to grow. So even on our end, we're still learning things every single day. And especially in a digital world, stuff changes at the speed of lightning. One day, something that makes sense it's great. Tomorrow it doesn't make sense. You're like, okay, we got to keep up with the times. And that's our promise to everybody we work with. We try our best to implement new best practices. We try our best to go to old sites that we've launched and say, hey, here's a freebie tweak that we're going to do because of X, Y, and Z reasons. So we're doing our best. And ultimately, the goal is to take care of our customers and our clients and be true partners in every facet that we can. So when people come to us, we just try to be honest. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, do I want to make sales and do I want to grow the business and help everybody here with a new website? For sure. But if anybody here has any questions, chat with us now or DM us on Instagram, Facebook, go to our website. It doesn't matter. Email us. We're going to give you as much information as possible so you make the best decision. And if you work with us, again, great. If you work with anybody else, I really don't care. Go do what makes the most sense for your business, because at the end of the day, I believe that we're going to be the best option. And if you come back to us, phenomenal. So that's a little bit about us, right? To your question about background. Personally, I feel like I'm getting old now. I went to Michigan State.
Before you go into your story, no revealing stories. David Gannett, I can never say his damn last name, but he gives me a lot of grace. But no revealing brother stories. We already bitched at each other enough on the episode 100 podcast, and I think again at like 250. So if you guys want to hear the brother banter, Adam and I have a peace treaty. We got to work together in life now. Like before, we killed each other until about 10 years ago. So
ever since I quit working for you, it's been a good story.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so like my background personally, I've been in marketing. I went to Michigan State a long time ago at this point for business and marketing, graduated, and then worked for, I didn't want to say this ever when I was on the podcast because, well, I was still in the corporate world, but I worked for Carhartt, which I'm sure everybody here has heard of. I was there for 6 years in marketing and advertising and operations and learned a lot. Personally, I was kind of fed up after 6 years, went somewhere else. I went to a place closer, right down the road, actually, General RV, which was a nationwide RV dealer and actually the largest, I'm not here to pitch for them, but the nation's largest family-owned dealer. So it was another private company that I got to work at. And there I oversaw the email program and then eventually evolved into managing the marketing team for all of the dealerships across the nation. So again, there, it's not just like theory and concept, it's like actually driving people to stores to purchase big ticket items. It's a lot different than what you're doing in the very early stages where you're talking theory, talking concepts, and just like, I think we should do this. No, this is actually the way it works. And so for me personally, taking those ideas, those skills, and just overall understanding of how to connect with people and applying it to this business, combining that with Lauren's experience, who at this point, she's got 25 years of experience working for large businesses as well, doing everything from PR to graphic design work, marketing, advertising, and so forth. So between the two of us, we kind of know a thing or two about marketing and advertising. And our goal is to distill that knowledge down to every person we talk to. We don't offer every service under the sun. That's not how we're built, but we want to provide as much information, because if you want to go do Google ads or something like that, we don't offer it, but we still want to make you aware of things to consider just to be a good partner. So we're a wealth of knowledge. That's why we're happy to answer any questions about what we do or anything else we know information on. So that's a little bit of our background in summary. So we've been around the block, you could say.
Yeah, and really, I think right place, right time, as well. You wanted to make a change. Lauren wanted to make a change. I was, like I said, impressed with what you guys came up with a couple years ago. I bought a website. I don't know our leads to date, but I do know for the month of April that we just finished up, we had something maybe just under 80 website leads. And look, folks, as the lights turn off in this room and I probably get axe murdered. For real though, this little office that I'm in, I have no idea where I'm at. Some dark corner, dank room in the Swan Reserve. But right place, right time. And I was really impressed with the product that you guys came out with. And so one of the leadoff questions, actually, I wanted to go with Adam's. CJ had said, I'm looking to get a website. I'm just trying to figure out what the best time is. I could answer that 100 different ways. I'm sure everybody in this room has their 2 cents as well. if you guys have questions, man, like this is a live stream. Adam's our guest, but you guys know, like if you guys have questions or want to chime in on video, you guys can do that real time. Like, I don't want this to be super top down. But Adam, when is the best time to build a website or get a website? And what are you guys noticing out there with the folks that maybe you've launched with in the last 90 days, like real time? What are people saying? What are people thinking out there?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I'm a big analogy person, which you'll probably figure out by the end of this call. It's just my kind of default way of telling stories and making sure you guys understand what I'm saying. But to me, it's kind of like, when's the best time to get in shape? A long time ago, right? But the next best time is now or tomorrow, right? The next available opportunity. Now that applies kind of, that's a universal principle, right? But when it comes to your industry, there's also seasonality that you guys know spring is a huge time. So you kind of like narrow that down a little bit and say, when's an ideal time for your industry specifically? Well, again, a long time ago, years ago, or maybe a few months ago, but it still doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It doesn't mean that you just say, okay, I'll wait till next spring, because there's so many advantages to starting the process as quickly as possible, because it's a long-term investment. A website is in your business. You want to realize that it's going to be around for years and years and years. And as a result, the sooner you start it, the sooner you're going to see the benefits. Now, is there like perfectly when would I pull the trigger if I had to give you an exact time frame? Probably a few months before the season kicks off, because one, you guys are looking to sign people up before the season kicks off. But number two, to go back further, you need your website built and for it to be indexed on Google, so Google knows it exists. You want it to have some traction, maybe do some SEO stuff. So that way, when people do go to search for people like your businesses, they can find you. So working backwards, it's like, I mean, I don't know, that could be about 6 months before spring, ideally. But that doesn't mean you should wait another 6 months to then consider it at this point. Ultimately, the next best opportunity is when you should invest into it. Because even if you get launched in a few weeks, let's just say, you're still going to start to see some residual from that website. It's not like it just sits there and does nothing. So if you're looking to grow, you're looking to take your business to the next level, start getting more leads, credibility, just expand your footprint, give customers information. Whenever you can do that, that's the right opportunity and the next best time to do it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that all comes together.
Yeah, no, I like that, and I agree. I mean, some folks, like we have that. You guys have that dollar promotion, elephant in the room. I told Adam, I said, hey, a lot of guys are strapped for cash for the next 60 days, myself included. I'm the brokest I ever am, usually March, April, May. June, July, August, sitting pretty, on top of the hog or whatever the saying is. September, October, November, I feel like I'm rich, and then I get back to February, March, April, it's back to pancakes. Hoping to continue to even out that wave and that curve. Maybe some of you guys can relate. As the company gets bigger, we get better financial discipline and just budgeting, right? But I like what you said there. Like, it's going to take time for this stuff to permeate. Number one, to get built, but then number two, to permeate back end links, SEO. I actually had a question about that myself, Adam. That seems to be like a buzzword a lot of people say. I could BS with everybody and say, yeah, man, SEO and backlinks, but help these guys understand, like, and again, it's not a pitch. I'm telling you guys genuinely, I'm not coming at this with a pitch. So like, hey, you need to get started today. But long story short, and best I understand it, Adam, this is going back to you. The sooner you get it going, the sooner the website starts making these back end connections, which then compound over time. So for me, when like if somebody asks me what's the best time to get a website, or like you said, when's the best time to get fit? Well, yeah, 5 years ago. But if not, like today, so it can start reinforcing itself or whatever you want to call it. So can you like, what is SEO? How does that work? I think obviously the sooner the better. Those are kind of common sense. But how do you guys look at it from like a technical aspect? It's a little above my pay grade.
Yeah, no, SEO, like, so search engine optimization is what SEO stands for if you're not familiar. And it's your ability to be found on Google. Google's the dominant player, right? There's Bing and there's different platforms, but Google's the dominant player by far. And so kind of like put put yourself in your customer's shoes. Where do you go to get information about a company? You probably Google it, and then you click the first few links, or you scan them and you pick one or two to look at and kind of do your, search with, and, sign up or buy something or whatever it might be, right? So when it comes to a website, you can have a beautiful website, but if it can't be found, well, you don't really have that much of a beneficial website, because nobody is going to find it and go to it, and it's not doing its purpose. So SEO is essentially your ability to match, for Google's ability to match your website with the searches that potential customers are making. And the more you do with SEO, the more you can kind of line up and better provide Google information so that they can give a better result to people searching. So like my analogy is like a dating game. You want your website to say you're tall, dark, and handsome, because you want the people searching tall, dark, and handsome for me to find you. That's the point. And if you're short, dark, and handsome, I don't want anything to do with you. And that's Google's job. Google's goal is to match everybody with search results that line up with what they're looking for, because they want people on Google to get what they want. That's how they trust Google to give them, information. That's why people use it. Makes sense. So you want your website to sit there when someone says, hey, lawn care professional near me. You want your website saying, Google, pick me, pick me, pick me. Serve me up to this person searching for that, right? And the more you do with SEO, the more you can stand out, stand up taller, and just line up with the search terms the person is using. So like in a nutshell, that's what SEO is. It's just your ability to be found on Google by people searching specific terms. Backlinks specifically is, and there's a lot that goes into SEO. How's the site built? Is it mobile responsive? How fast does it load? Are there the right keywords on it? Are there meta descriptions, page titles, and so forth? There's so much that goes into it. But backlinks, and a lot of that's called on-site SEO, the stuff you see on the website or even kind of on the back end in the code on the site. There's this whole concept of off-site SEO, everything you do off of the website. And backlinks is a huge piece of that. And backlinks is essentially other websites that link to your website. So in Google's mind, they like credibility. It's one of their biggest factors when ranking someone's website. So the more backlinks you have and the higher the credibility score with those websites, the higher Google trusts your website and therefore ranks it above others that don't have backlinks or don't have credible backlinks. So we, as part of our SEO package, will help with on-site SEO and, of course, creating and generating those backlinks. One website linking to your website, good. A dozen websites, Google says, wow, you must be an authoritative figure of some sort. Therefore, we're going to trust you a little bit more than the next guy. And then you just repeat that cycle. And SEO, it's not a turn on, turn off. It's a long-term game. So why the biggest companies on the planet spend millions of dollars on SEO, because they want to rank as high as possible, because there's a lot of money to be made. And really the big difference, I'm going on a tangent here, between like paying Google ads to be number one, you get the sponsored links at the top. People are like, I get it. I don't really like advertising. SEO is organic. So when someone types in, lawn care professional near me, and you're ranking within the top few spots, they just feel more trusted because they don't feel like they're getting sold to. They just feel like they're finding the right company for them. So there's a big difference between how SEO works in your favor versus something like Google advertising. And it's not to say you shouldn't do both or do one or the other. It's just there's a nice feeling when you search something and you get the results you're really looking for instead of being bombarded. So hopefully that's a little bit about SEO, a little bit about backlinks, and kind of how SEO plays in your favor if you invest into it.
Yeah, no, that's solid. And actually, I was learning some stuff there, so that's actually pretty cool. um, Two, like you said, the backlinks, that reviews back to the website, it all just connects back and forth, and that's, you're really building that web, that network. And like you said, building that credibility, that trust with Google. I've never really looked at it that way. And that's actually really revealing, And again, I think having a quality website is something that's easy to navigate and get a submission form. Like that's huge. And so many people still mess that up. But then folks don't take any time to, gosh, have a YouTube channel, make minute-long videos that you send to your customers, or let your customers find your page. Let's send that back to your website. Have that in your descriptions. It's not super hard stuff. It's all free. I mean, really, if you think about it, like it just takes some time to do it. But just make sure you're tagging and linking everything back to ourselves, like back to your website, back to your Instagram pages, back to everything. You know, um, this sounds weird, but like I had a website and somebody was challenging me for it, and I was willing to risk the biscuit, like 100 grand on this thing, because I had so much back end SEO. It wasn't the website necessarily; it was the 5 years of cemented SEO that was valuable to me. Does that make sense? Like that's why I wasn't like, no, I'm just going to give this one up. Whole other story for a whole other time, but uh, that's what I was trying to convince Liz and myself, and we're like, oh, well, here we go. um, how do you get backlinks? I think we were just talking about that literally, but reconnecting everything to each other. Is that true, Adam, or do you want to speak
Yeah,
to that?
so it's a great question. How do you get backlinks, right? And essentially, you just have to create something for other people to want to link to. And for example, just your social media profiles. Those are all considered backlinks because they're linking to your website, your Google business profile. If you create a blog and other people share those blog articles, right? Those are all different sites that are now linking to yours. YouTube, again, just the more you do to get your name out there, that more people are posting on their websites or on their blogs or whatever it might be, the more you do to have them drive back to your site and those articles or whatever information, news stories, any information you're sharing, those are all considered backlinks. And so blogging, for example, most of the people here, you're probably not going to blog, and that's totally fine. It doesn't mean that there's not advantages to blogging, and just doing it consistently doesn't mean you need to be a full-time blogger, but is there ability for you to do something like that and then have that be picked up by another, local newspaper's website and they link to it, or Chamber of Commerce or anything like that? Absolutely. I mean, there's many different ways, but hopefully those are just a few obvious examples.
Well, dude, so a funny story. Like, I'll get, because of our YouTube presence, I get these weirdo publications. I say weirdo, but whatever. Probably a horrible way to describe it. But it's like, it's not Lawn and Landscape magazine type, although I've had those kind of folks. But anybody that literally asks me for a blog post about, hey, like spring mowing tips or 3 ways to like get better grass or whatever, I get these weird publications, and I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I've always said yes. And the reason is I know it's linking back to my website. Here's what I would say. Yes, I will write you a blog or an article for free. It takes me 20 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. With ChatGPT, it could probably take you 3 minutes today. But I always say, no problem. I'll do it for free. I don't even care. As long as you make sure to link my YouTube, Lawntrepreneur Academy, and my Brian's LM website. Because I don't know who that person is necessarily or how they're ranking, but I do know that, let's say they do have a 10,000 person follower list or email list or 10,000 views daily, like Adam said, and they cross-reference me, and I've got, let's say, 20, 30, 40 of these folks over the last 6, 7, 8 years. Or like Adam said, your small town paper says, hey, Lumling Lawn Care, can you guys send us an article, 3 things, or can we highlight you on a YouTube video, or who knows, who cares? Or just copy you on our Facebook page and share your latest YouTube video. A local small business owner is helping us get better at cutting grass, mow at, 3.5 inches and only take a third off the top. Like that stuff is what Adam's talking about. And it is intentional. Like, it's funny you say that. Like, a lot of people do spend a lot of money actually focusing on that. I think the free low-hanging fruit stuff, like just making sure everything's connected, goes a long way. And I'll also throw in there, and I don't know if there's any merit to this, Adam, but Google reviews. I'm always harping on Google reviews.
It's so Google Business is a free service for anybody, right? If you're not familiar with it, you need to go sign up for a Google Business profile and complete it and use relevant keywords, put your hours of operation, put your phone number, email, website, pictures, all those things, right? Because when you go to Google, if you've never realized it, you have typically the website rankings on the left-hand side. If you're, on desktop, you've got your local listings on the right-hand side, where the map might show up. And if you have a Google business profile, well, you can rank on the right-hand side, the local listings piece of it. Even without a website, you can still get found and generate tons of leads and get a bunch of customers by doing that. The combo of having both means you can be found within both, and you'll be ranked higher because Google likes when you have a website for people to go to as well. And one of the biggest factors, by far, one of the biggest factors when it comes to how they rank business profiles is number of reviews and the average rating from those reviews. So if you have tons of reviews and they're all 5-star, guess what? A lot of people trust you. So therefore Google says, I trust the judgment of others, and therefore I'm going to rank you higher. And that's something that we do when in our SEO package, because the website ranking is important, but your Google business profile is extremely important. And so we actually help our clients as well with the Google business profile, making sure it's optimized and making sure that we actually post periodically to your profile. And that's something that if you do have one and you don't do, you should do, because Google likes when there's fresh content. And you might have never gone to Google Business and looked up a business and gone to the different tabs like updates and photos and all that. But trust me, there's a lot of people that use Google, and Google likes when you provide it with fresh content. And so you should always be posting updates, and that's something we do with our clients as well. And then reviews and reputation management. Here's something people probably don't consider is that, and this is what we do with our clients with our package, is you want to collect reviews like we talked about. But there's a difference between positive reviews and negative reviews. Positive reviews, you want people to see 5-star reviews all day on your profile. It's called social proofing. We all trust something more when everybody else says, hey, this is awesome. But you don't want to discourage bad reviews from being provided, because you want to learn from your customers. You want to give them an outlet to air their grievances for whatever reason that might be. So something we do, and something you might want to consider, is protecting the positive reviews and your reputation and your ranking, but also collecting those bad reviews. And that's something that we work with our clients to do. And they can work with their customers to get those negative reviews on a Google form that you get if you work with us. And then they can then say, hey, 1 star, you guys stink for X, Y, and Z reason, and you can do whatever you want with it. Obviously, remedy the situation or talk to them or whatever you have to do, or don't do anything. It doesn't really matter. The point is you keep that 1-star review from coming onto your Google business profile, because 1-star reviews don't look nice and it can drag your entire average rating down. And that just affects your local listing in the search results. Hope that makes sense again.
No, dude, that's super good. By the way, quick thing on Google reviews, when you get a 1-star, click the 3 dots next to it and click the second one down. It's like spam or doesn't relate to this business. If you guys want a Google review removed, that's your best chance. I'll say it again. The 3 dots, the second one down, spam or doesn't relate to this business, that's usually the best one, where you have the solid personal experience, 80% chance of it getting removed. That right there is worth your weight in this webinar. And if you guys are watching this ever on YouTube.
And here's the thing, and you know this, Brian, right? It's a pain in the butt to get a negative review removed from your profile. It could take months of just annoying Google. And trust me, you're not calling Google and saying, hey, Mr. Google, can you take this down? You'll never get a hold of them. I'm jealous.
It's an outbound call center for the Google reviews. I have people I get to work with at Google for our YouTube channel, since it got a little bit bigger, but even then it's 2 different departments. And the other day we had construction on Grand River, the area, and we were zippering, and all these assholes were going to the right-hand side and passing us. And we were making no progress on this red light. I'm telling you, like 2 cars go through. So I text Rob, I said, block the lane, who was behind me in the big rig. So we blocked the lane at the zipper and stopped everybody from going by. Swear to God, an hour later, you got a new 1-star Google review. It was a photo of some schmuck that took a photo of the rig and said, these guys are blocking traffic. Learn how to drive. This is unacceptable. So we replied back, please wait patiently in traffic. Cutting around and cheating is not cool. Have a nice day. And so and then I had a big emoji heart. Now, again, you guys handle your reviews however you want to do, but I'm sick and tired of the world being a bunch of a-holes. So that's how I respond. Then I still flagged the review, and it wasn't but an hour later that Google actually took it down. Praise the Lord. So whoever that person is, they're so stupid. And I know the exact Cadillac XTS, like whatever it was, zipping around us, that was a jerk. So 1-star reviews, they do suck. But here's what I would say. I can't always fight the 1-star review guys, but what I can do is be proactive to pad stats and go get 10 5-star reviews. So that guy's 1-star review didn't even touch our rating because we're already at 4.9, because nobody has a perfect score besides Grant Cardone. Any which way. So, that's a whole nother story. 10,000 5-star reviews, of course. When somebody has something like that, that makes me, of course, more suspicious than less, if that makes sense. Even though I like some of Grant's stuff and can't stand half of his stuff. But anyway, whole nother story for a whole nother time. But pad stats on the 5-star reviews. Every one of you guys, just a total side note, if you've done a cleanup or a one-off mulch job or whatever this spring, if you have not, I'm just telling you guys, like on the podcast, I'm going to be nailing a lot of this. Please, let's do monthly audits. Let's not get so busy where we're leaving the there's low-hanging fruit, and then there's fruit literally in your mouth, okay? Like, just swallow, okay? Like, this food is already chewed. I don't know any other analogy, Lucas. Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. I don't want to leave this. I just want to I don't want to leave this money on the table, Todd. I get so frustrated. I'm like, you guys are always like, I don't have time for Google reviews. I got to wait till the end of the mowing season to get my 100 weekly mows. And I'm like, you just did 13 spring cleanups, you dork. Like, and then I got people saying, well, my website doesn't get any ranks or any listings. I don't get any submission forms. Mother F, like, you don't spend any time getting Google reviews. Like, if you got your Google reviews from those cleanups, like, let me ask you this. Would you rather $500 from the cleanup or a 5-star Google review? I'm just telling you, like, those Google reviews pay more than $500 ever will. And you get both with what we do, but you have to be organized. I literally the other day, I did a cleanup, 9.25, shot a YouTube video on it, text the lady, hey, we're looking to collect reviews. A lot of you guys have seen my thing. She didn't leave me a Google review. It was 2 days later. I called her and I left her voicemail. Hey, Mindy, I know you're busy, blah, blah, blah. Just wanted to touch base. 20 minutes later, new 5-star review came through. She shot me a text, completed. Thank you guys so much. It takes 10 seconds. People want to review your business. Like, if you're at 12, get to 50. If you're at 34, get to 100. That's what I'm challenging everybody in here. And then people are like, well, your website's getting more reviews and more submission forms, I should say, than mine. And I'm like, I have 140 5-star reviews. I spend time working the business. Like, yeah, the rich get richer, but they're doing things that the average human being is not willing to do or isn't doing. So, like, stop complaining. It always comes down to just owning it and getting that stuff in. And I don't know any other way to say it. And then I start being tough guy talk, and then people call me a douchebag because I'm just telling people the truth. And it's just like, bro, it's a real business. It takes effort. Google is not going away. Like Adam said, General RV and Carhartt spend millions of dollars focusing on this. If they're doing that, and granted they're, a million times the size, but like, why aren't we? Like, I fight tooth and nail for every ounce of work we do and every review. And I'm going to be a Nazi about it over the next forever long I'm in business. All right. So go ahead, back to you, Adam. I'm just sorry. And rant, bro.
No.
Just,
so it's good because, I work for big businesses. I mean, Carhartt Global, National RV was nationwide. I mean, they're huge billion-dollar plus businesses, right? And I firmly believe, yes, there's a lot of differences, but you look at big businesses and you say, how do they get there? Well, it's by doing the small things. It's by saying, we need reviews, or it's by making sure you're following up on sales calls, or having a website, like doing the same thing that the big businesses do. They just do it, they just put in a lot more effort, time, and invest way more into it. But you can still do all the same things that they do, just on a smaller scale. And it's funny you say the rich get richer. Google's the same way. So if you're number one, right, and you're ranking first, and from a website perspective or local search results perspective, guess what? You're going to get a lot of leads or a lot of attention because you're first, which then reinforces to Google people like you, or they're at least serving you up in the matchmaking game, and people are clicking through. So Google says, oh, plus one, plus one, plus one. And so it's like, it's a snowball effect. The rich get richer on Google as well. So your goal is to be near the top. You don't need to be number one unless that's your all out goal and focus. And there's big companies that spend a lot of money to be number one. Then yeah, right? Shoot for the stars in that regard. But the snowball effect is there. You want to be competitive because you're going to get the most visibility. As a result, you get the most clicks. As a result, you get the most credibility with Google, and it just feeds the machine. So you saying that just that came to my mind as a result.
Can I
Yeah,
jump in here, guys? Now, I mean, Brian,
Yeah.
I don't want to jump on your toes here a little bit, but I normally don't. But let's go. I know you're an LMN. Let's go back to the yard book users and stuff like that. The reason why I need a website right now, maybe this is for the lower tier guys under $100,000 a year or whatever they are. I don't have the I need Twilio to be able to accept my website to go and mass text people. I can't do that unless I have a bona fide website. All right, so I'm stuck in right now. I don't need to advertise. I don't need Brandon Bull to advertise for me. I'm doing really good on my own. But it's almost kind of forcing me to get Brandon Bull so that I can get that website, get that recognition, so that I can go to Twilio and say, hey, I've got this fancy website now. I've told the customers that they're going to have to accept this, whatever I put out there, and I'm going to email them, text them, or whatever it is, so that I can tell them where I'm going with their fertilizers and pesticides and all this other stuff. If I don't have that, it doesn't happen. So it's like, I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. It's like I don't need a website. I don't need advertising. I am packed. But I can't mass text everybody. Hey, Tyler's Total Turf Care is coming to service your lawn today via text message, because I'm summoned by this stupid new rule that came out with the federal government that says that I have to have you clarify that you accept this blah 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 to do it. Adam, do you have any answers for me for that?
Well, so I think there's a credibility thing, and I hope this gets to kind of, your question. I think that it's about credibility. They, when you
Right.
go to message people in the federal government just does anything, or it might even be the government. It could be an HOA or anybody that just wants a credible provider for anything that they're going to promote. And one of the biggest things that proves you're a credible resource in terms of being a business is your website. Everybody can set up a Google business profile. Yes. Everybody can set up a Facebook page. Some of them you could do it yourself very inexpensively. A lot of people come to us with that particular kind of path. They say, yep, I've been doing this myself for a little while, but I'm kind of at the crossroads where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm becoming a web design expert. I mow lawns. What am I doing? I need help. Cool. We take over, we do the rest. So it's just, hopefully that's helping, but that's kind of my answer is it's a credibility thing. You need to be credible. The government, different, a chamber of commerce or whatever, they all want to see a credible business before they go and promote you. And that's one of the easiest ways to build that credibility with that online presence.
Yeah, I'll just add really quick, Todd. That's exactly what happened to me, man. I couldn't care less, quote unquote, to have a website 2, 3, 4 years ago. I'm like, we have a good business. We're in HOAs. We're doing all this work, a couple $100,000 a year, no big deal. Like, life is good. And then I shifted because I wanted to get better clients in like commercial and HOAs, all this mess. And I'm realizing, man, you got to look the part. And if I don't have a website, but Troy Clogg does, and if I don't have a website and Cut and Care does, and if I don't have a website and Sue's Landscaping does, like, these are big fish near me, like, even if I'm like on the next level and I'm excited and white glove service and dude, we're as good as the other big guys, the website's just the equalizer. I don't know any other way to say it.
With that, and that's what I exactly thought myself. And that's such
Yeah.
a great point that you just have to legitimize yourself in the business to remove yourself from the truck and a truck type mentality and get into it. And it's like I'm not trying to be the truck in a truck. I don't need any more advertising. I don't need
Nope.
any more business. I am awesome. I'm great doing what I'm doing, but I need a website.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that I can email these people, hey, Todd's coming today to spray your lawn, and I can do it in a mass text at 40 or 50 people, but they won't let me. Twilio won't let me do it because I am not certified or I have not passed their test or whatever it is for legitimate business. And it's like, it's frustrating.
Yeah. I don't know all the rules with that, and I don't know if that's ICANN or whoever, but I know that all got passed a couple months ago because a lot of people are struggling with that. And by the way, newsletters get the same scrutiny. It's a whole other thing. Like, oh yeah, like newsletter email blasts. They go through the ringer every couple years with like if you add somebody to your mailing list and they don't opt in, it's like $50,000 per offense or whatever it is. Like there's these internet FTC ICANN type rules. So like when I have people sign up for Lawntrepreneur Academy, they legitimately need the info, but they forget to hit automatically subscribe to the marketing emails. And I'm sending out hotel reservation links and mastermind tickets, or hey, the Friday night fun party thing that we're doing at XYZ place. Right. And they don't subscribe. If I add them to the mailer, even for that specific list that they bought a ticket for, right, I can give ding 50 grand a pop if somebody like turned me in. I mean, again, we don't do anything like that. So on LAL with 425 people, I get 275 emails. And even with the email list and a Facebook group and Instagram, I do everything I can. I still got people the week of, the day of going, hey man, where's the party? And I'm like, bro, that's why I told you to not unclick the box. Right. For the newsletter. So this internet stuff it's like I always tell Liz, it's not like a 4-year degree thing. It's a paid position, but it's a in the field, like Adam said, like you're getting like smoke a battle all over you learning this stuff because the cheese moves every day. I mean, even just now, like we try to do this stupid Facebook Live and Facebook moved the cheese because something's going on, and half of it's probably regulatory and the other half is somebody unplugged a extension cord in the office. Okay. Like it's just, it is what it is, So, go ahead.
I was going to say too, really quick, and especially in the world of email marketing, it's funny. And I know this is probably not relevant to a lot of people here, but there's transactional emails, which are judged differently than marketing emails. And there's international rules versus just US rules. And so like a tidbit here in the United States, you have single opt-in. So if you've ever been to a website and you sign up for something and it says, check here if you want to receive marketing email, and you hit yes, and you put in your email, you hit submit. Sometimes you don't get an email that says, are you sure you want to opt in? Sometimes you do get an email that says, are you sure you want in? And that's called single opt-in versus double opt-in. And so single opt-in is what they do in the United States. Double opt-in is required internationally elsewhere. And so there's just so many nuances to this online space that if you don't know what you're doing, you can find yourself in some hot water pretty darn quick.
Well, and not only hot water, but you can find yourself treading water too, because you don't know what you're freaking doing, and the folks are like $500 here or $1,000 there. I'm like, what else are you going to do to get the phone to ring for that much money or less? And I'm all about sweat equity, but eventually, like as your company grows, like you said, Todd, you get to 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. And people are like, well, like I want to go buy the diesel dually truck. And I'm like, dude, it's not about that yet. Like you need to make sure that you've dug extra wells and that these things never dry up. And like it wouldn't dry up if whatever, like the world ended kind of a deal. And then once you have extra wells dug and your roof's, made, then go buy and finance stupid stuff. And I'm all about financing and buying stupid stuff. I'm building a stupid home. That thing is completely unnecessary. But like I've dug 29 wells, and if one dries up, I don't care. Like, and
It's
Todd, you saw the
beautiful.
home.
It's not dumb. Stop. It is a beautiful house. I was there. You gave me a tour. It is awesome.
Very
Don't
blessed.
even
Very,
stop there and do that shit. Dude, it's
very,
awesome. And you
very
deserve it.
grateful, but very, very grateful, very, very blessed. But that's why I take this stuff so serious, because people like, well, how do you get a nice home or a nice truck? And I'm like, get Google reviews. They're like, no, dude, give me the sauce. I'm like, that is the sauce. Like, and that's why I'm just trying to tell folks, like, what Adam's saying is gold. But again, some people treat a crumb like a feast, other people treat a feast like a crumb. Adam, let's do this. Let's do a couple audits. A lot of great folks leaving some stuff here. As Adam's pulling up a couple websites, I know Lauren's been really, really instrumental. She's answering a bunch of your guys' comments. Super awesome. Make sure you guys go back to the chat. She might have answered your guys' comments if she hadn't earlier. She's kicking butt. Number two, if you guys, what was I just going to say? If you guys do need a website, I no pitch here, but Adam and Lauren are doing their $1 sale through Friday to get you guys going. It's funny, like, I've been able to help Adam and Lauren a little bit behind the scenes. Like, one side of me is I don't really care if you guys buy a website. The other side is, hey, I want to see them win and them grow and all this other mess. So we have like a bi-weekly strategy meeting, and I'm just trying to help them grow a business. Nothing fancy. I'm not doing anything that you guys wouldn't do with your company every other day, right? But I said, hey, like, admittedly, a lot of guys are cash flow tight, myself included. So let's think for them, right? Imagine like they're trying to get business. I said, take away the barrier to having somebody get a website. If it's going to take 60 to 90 days to build a website anyway, why start this process in 3 months to then take 3 months? So I told Adam and Lauren, I suggested, and then I just gave them a couple ideas. And they came back with this $1 sale and promotion for about a 10-day window through, I think, May 3rd, Friday, or whatever it is, or whatever they go to. But for any of you guys that are on the fence or thinking about it, jump on it, okay? Like, you don't pay anything for 60 days. It's not a gimmick. It's just a good way to get the process going and then pay off your $2,000-$3,000 bill in 2 months, 3 months, whatever it ends up being. You know, once you start getting paid from all those cleanups, all those mulch jobs in the first couple of weeks and months of mowing, okay? So check them out at brandonbullinkadam.com,
Yep.
just really quick. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's go to some websites here. Adam, can you share screen? Is that a thing?
Of course.
All right. So pull up. We had a couple. I don't know if Lauren fed you a few or whatever. I got a couple, or you can probably go through chat. We could probably get lost in the weeds for this for the next 20 minutes, guys. So we'll probably taper as we go through here. But this might be some good, just observational, you know, what do you call it? Maybe an audit. Like, what's your website look like? And by the way, if you guys go build a website, one of the things I'll tell you is take a bunch of screenshots of what you do like. That way you can filter them to Adam and Lauren. My website, I stole everything you see here from about 3 or 4 good companies. I have no problem admitting that. People are like, I want to be original. I'm like, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to go copy and then add red and black. Okay. Like, it's not that complicated. Everybody borrows, everybody steals. It's just how life works. Okay. So mine is really simple. I guess we're starting with mine. Hopefully mine's looking pretty good, Adam. You got a lot of opinion on mine because you built it.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you an example of, first of all, if anybody's asking, you know, we create websites and we manage websites for all of our clients first and foremost. And we have different packages starting from the small guy who just needs, hey, I'm a solo operator. I just need something. I need something that's going to look professional. And it's going to be very similar to what you have, Brian, right? And we have things in the middle, and then we have full custom builds for people in your industry and people that are outside of your industry and, you know, do tens of millions of dollars. So we have solutions regardless of where you are on that spectrum. So Todd, I know you were joking about like, I don't want a website. I don't need a website. But like, I need a website. That doesn't mean you should go spend $10,000 or $20,000 on a website. We have packages for something like that that's a lot cheaper, that just give you the basics, let's just call it something simple. You don't need to spend way more than you need. So so keep that in mind. And I wanted to pull up your website, Brian, because a lot of people here have probably seen your website, and there's some very noticeable things that help your website perform the way it does. And I think these are things that people can, you know, learn from when they look at their websites or, you know, things to consider in the future, right? So let's spend just a minute or two looking at yours. And this is the first thing people see when they hit your website. Now, yes, we're on a desktop. Mobile looks a little bit different. It's a little bit more condensed, but generally speaking, the same exact stuff is here. You have your logo. You have a simple navigation. You have a call to action button, right? Basic stuff that people expect. You don't see fancy designs all over the place with different angles and whatever. These are best practices for simple reasons. People understand a layout like this. They know where to go from top left to top right to the middle to the bottom. That's how we all read books. There's psychology behind it. This is just the way you read things. So this is why we build very simple sites for a lot of our clients, because you don't need to have anything fancy. You just need it to do its job, to convert people from, I hit your website, you've caught my attention, I've learned within a few seconds of who you are and what you do, and now I have a call to action to go do something, which is to get a free quote or whatever that call to action is for your business. So look at this. It's very simple. It's catchy. You have a nice video, right? You have your name in the middle. Who are you? What do you do? Give me a little bit of just the highlights. How can I trust you and learn more about your business? And then from there, if I'm sold, I want to learn more, I want to reach out, boom, you've got access to those sections or those pages. So there's, simplicity, there's cleanliness, there's clear call to action, there's keywords as well for SEO purposes. What do? You're a commercial and residential site management company serving the Wixom area, right? So those are very simple, 10 words or less. I know who you are and what you do. And if I'm interested, I'm on the right site. Let me go learn more, right? You read a book's cover to get the highlight, and then you open the book to get more information. So that's what we're showing here. And then last thing again is the beautiful video imagery. It has to, we always joke about this on our client calls. iPhone photos work, but professional images, that proves you're a professional operation. So we always tell people,
I want to jump in. I want to jump
Yeah.
in on this, Adam. Just tell you and ask you this because, as being a lower end, maybe not money wise, but lower end, when it comes to websites, this is awesome. And we all know Brian is a web genius when it comes to doing stuff like this, or he knows how to do this. How does a local guy like me provide something like this? How do I go out about and provide photos like this? Do I do this on my iPhone? Do I bring out, something else to get these kind of images? Or do I have to contact you to have somebody come out and do it for us?
No, so the great question, Todd. We don't fly out or drive out to collect images. In this day and age, everybody knows somebody that's a photographer. And here's the thing. You're not Apple, right? You're not Microsoft. You don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on shoots, photo shoots. What you need to do is spend a few bucks, find a local photographer. It could be a college student or someone you know, crisp quality images, just with a little bit of knowledge about angles and whatever, that's going to do just fine. You don't need to break the bank. So I know Brian, he's got some different people he uses for his videos and his photos and all of that. And, you can see the results, extremely nice. And so when people hit this, they say, wow, this looks like a very professional business. They're buttoned up and they do a great job, right? So I'm hooked to learn more versus the next site they might go to. It's my angled iPhone photo that's, turned upside down and it looks like everybody's, just looks sloppy. Long story short, who do you want to, and there's different markets for different people, but if you want to sell yourself as the professional business, professional imagery can go a long way. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah,
It answers it really good. It's just, I think, when it comes down to building a website, and I'm going to talk to the smaller guys in the group here that are maybe sub 100 grand that can't really maybe afford a website, but maybe want to start looking into doing something like that. What is it going to take to maybe get to something like this? And what do I have to do? Who do I have to contact that can provide these kind of images to give us that kind of exposure to.
So let me answer that, Todd, a little bit way what I did. So Adam built the website, and then I backfilled him with photo and video digital assets. I don't think my website's probably the smallest package that Adam offers today. I mean, it's single page, maybe like 2-3 pages. He can bring up Dylan Stevenson with what's his new company now?
Brilliant Gardens.
Yeah, Brilliant Gardens, and then the almonds, like multi-page, multi-this, looks beautiful. I told Adam I want one page, top right call to action, scroll to the bottom call to action. Because Todd, just like you, I didn't care for a website. I just said I need a place where we look professional. And in this video, we have commercial sites and we have residential sites. I had a company come out from Kansas City, Missouri. When I saw their stuff, I liked the aesthetic. I saw the B-roll footage. Like, I knew they could do it. I had a couple bucks. I could bring them out for 3 days. It cost me $5,000. I had a pecking list, a pecking order. I wanted a 60-second vertical sizzle reel for Instagram. I wanted a 60-second horizontal sizzle reel. So if anybody's listening in, that's the term you can use.
Means, Brian? I mean, I'm older than you. I don't understand what the hell that means.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm 38 and I don't know what the hell that means either. It just sounds cool. But here's the deal.
53, so it means a lot.
Yeah, that's fair, brother. You got underwear as old as me. Listen, so here's the deal. Todd, you're ridiculous, bro. All it is highlighting the aesthetic, the branding that you're trying to portray. So when the company or the customer that's looking to hire somebody, they pick you, like they know that you're the company for them. So all my guys, they're in uniform. They got PPE. We've got us working. We've got us looking like we're paying attention. If you look at all my guys, they're like focused, staring. And these are things I told the videographer that are important to me. I want action shots. I want us in uniform. I want us to have that 5 o'clock golden hour, they call it. Or, in the summer, it might be 8 p.m. for crying out loud. So a sizzle reel is just like highlight your teams or your companies, like what we are, who we are, and aesthetic, okay? So I wanted a 60-second horizontal and a 60-second vertical because, like Adam was talking about SEO earlier, if you go to my Instagram right now, my #1 pinned video and pinned post, both on Reel and my wall, is that 60-second vertical sizzle reel about who we are. And also on the website, Adam has this in the background, is our 60-second, or maybe Adam trimmed it down, sizzle reel for the website. So here's the deal. If you type in, you're in Wisconsin, right? Like what, Madison or something, right? So if you just type in Madison, Wisconsin, videographer, photographer, call them up and say, hey, I'm looking to get a sizzle reel for my website. I bet you $1,500 they'll take care of you. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, $1,500 a lot. It's actually not that bad, They're going to bring $7,000 a year to do it right. And they might be in and out in an hour, 2 hours tops. It depends on what package they want to give you. But here's the thing. I've traveled enough, broadly speaking, and then also with Mark Bradley doing some different stuff and seeing him running around. Everywhere I go, Mark Bradley's got a video crew. He's got one main guy, Tony's photography out of Canada.
Yeah.
But I was just hanging with him in Columbus, Ohio, and there's these other guys that were the other guys like I brought from Kansas City, Missouri. Like there's always these 2 studs, big dog cameras. They always got these beards. They're always cool dudes. I didn't know them from Adam, but they're the other versions of Tony and the other versions of Sam and Levi that I brought from Missouri. There's thousands of these type of guys nowadays making these cool website sizzle reels and Instagram sizzle reels. So just call them up. Hey, I got a new website coming together. I need a 60-second vertical, 60-second short. What's a package? Here's my aesthetic. Show them a couple examples like mine or something else. And they'll make you a badass one. Todd, you can have one in 60 days, guaranteed. I mean, my guys had this turned around to me in a week. I mean, it's not, for somebody with a skill set, it's not that big of a deal. Right. And, you have like your stand-on fertilizer. You got, you're opening up a fresh bag. Like, get a shot list. We had a shot list, and we got probably, I don't know, 4 minutes of extra content that we can always use. This is just what we used in this video. So get a shot list of what you want. Does that help out a little bit?
Oh, hell, dude, that's awesome.
Okay,
That
cool.
is absolutely so much. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is
Well,
actually.
well, think about cool shots that you have: a push spreader shooting granular out, or a stand-on spreader shooting granular out. When you slow it down, slow-mo, those pellets or those granular pellets going out. Freshly cutting a blade through a bag. Watching the morning dew as you maybe spray liquid and watching it kind of mist off or dew off. The sun coming over your shoulder and then it shines onto the back of your logo. Like, I mean, that's exactly stuff that I'm doing here with my guys. The sun in the corner, blinding out, Ryan looking down, paying attention. Everybody's paying attention is the big thing. I know it sounds nuanced, and I know people see this stuff.
Shit there, dude. That is next level stuff.
Well, like, we're going to the next level, and there's guys that do way better than this, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, it is like intentional, man. Like, I just don't think people really understand like what goes into Perfect Cuts website and Troy Clogg's website. Like, people do spend time and money figuring this stuff out. And it's not hard. It's not hard. You can have this in a month. Okay. It's not that big of a deal, but imagine what it's going to do to elevate your brand. I'm telling you, a couple $1,000, you're good to go. All right, Adam, Todd, you good on that one? Let's shift gears. Let's wrap up by 10:30. Yeah, let's do Adam, great job leading in with this. Let's do a couple website audits. I'm talking way too much, man. I'm sorry, but I just get fired up, and terminology is huge for me because I didn't know how to Google certain things or explain what I wanted. I'm just like, I want a cool video that makes me look cool, and they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But tell them you want a sizzle reel. All right, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, for sure. So I think this was another one that was sent in the chat. So let me pull this up. So here's, again, when we look at kind of the checklist of whether a site is going to potentially perform the way you want it to or not, we go through that, again, that checklist. Immediately, when I hit it, professional imagery, yes or no? Is there a clear call to action? Yes or no? Is there a deal that can help convince people to reach out? Yes or no? Easy to navigate, clear logo. Very quickly, can I tell your service area and kind of the services at a high level what you perform? And so I know in your website, Brian, we looked at just kind of the hero section. There's obviously much more to your website, but those are the first things that you need to consider when you're building out your hero section on your website, because we all have less than a fraction of a second to convince somebody that we're the right company for them. So if the first thing that they see is bad, you roll up to a site with a super rusted out truck that's falling apart and the wheel falls off, what do you think your customer's going to think? Right? Not the right people for me if I want a professional operation. But you show up with a nice truck that's clean, it's washed, whatever, it's got a logo on it, boom, different impression. Website is the same exact thing. So those are the things that we look for when we look at websites. Now, a big factor is SEO, right? Your ability for your website to be found. That I'm not going to dive into a whole lot during this, because that's a whole nother conversation about what's going on the back end, as well as the offsite work being done for the actual website to be promoted. So there are basic things though, like on your website, Brian, the hero, the H1 as it's called, the highest heading tag, it tells you your Wixom's premier commercial and residential site management company. Those are keywords with locations built in. So on this site, imagery, and I don't mean to be mean to anybody, so please don't take this the wrong way or anything, but like imagery, it's not the most professional image. Contrast and colors, things could pop a little bit more. The logo probably doesn't need to be as big. This is okay. Great. Is this an H1? I don't know without digging into the code. I see your location. That's awesome. But what are your services? What kind of company are you? Just different things that, yes, I know you're a landscaping company from your logo, but does Google know you're a landscaping company if this is your H1? That's a
Hey,
difference.
Adam, can I weigh in on this?
Yeah, sure.
And again, all constructive criticism, but hey, you're probably located in Lakeville, Massachusetts, Lemire Landscaping, but who are you communicating to? Are you doing lawn care landscaping, $50 cuts, $10,000 patios, or are you doing $400,000 outdoor living spaces?
Right.
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, that's a nice, beautiful home, great image. Again, no shade, but
Oh, bring it.
is that communicating the outdoor experience and lifestyle? You know what I mean? Just an idea there, something that I would try to capitalize on, maybe more what you guys are doing for landscaping. That's a good just observation.
Yep.
For sure.
Adam, back to you, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to kind of keep this high level. I don't want to dissect every single page with every single section, but here you kind of reinforce a little bit about who you are and have some background information. That's great. You have another call to action, kind of a small picture, full list of services. I mean, your list of services should be probably the second thing people see, if not the third thing. But then you have it right here, so maybe that's redundant. I'm just going through here really quick. There's a lot here to kind of take in. Sometimes information overload is a thing too, but I could see you offer different services. I can click through, makes sense. Close the services again. I would assume that's what you had just above it. Again, another call to action, conveniently for them to click to call. So those are good things. You have, looks like a jobber form, lead capture. That's awesome. You want to always have something for someone to go on and provide their information. So that's always going to work in your favor for obvious reasons. The one thing I'll say about contact forms too is to keep in mind, we don't like filling out forms that have 100 questions, right? If we wanted to play 21 questions, we'd play the game. So we like to keep forms usually within 5-10 questions. Like, people want to give information, but they don't want to give up too much information. So it can work in your favor to use something like Jobber, for example, but you can start to see that there's a lot of questions. And as a result, sometimes people get discouraged. So I'm not just here to say that's right or wrong. I'm here to say, just consider, how would you feel if you're filling out a long form? You're just like, oh, really? Come on. So there's kind of a sweet spot. Short is better as long as it gives you enough information to get the person on the phone or through email to follow up and get more information. But this has Jobber integrated, and so nothing wrong, just some suggestions. But going through, you have some more, social medias and whatnot. Social proofing, this is great. Probably might want to move that up a little bit just to give it more exposure. One thing to be extremely careful about, this person has 5-star reviews. That's awesome. The problem that we actually don't do something like this on websites, we do not automatically pull in reviews, because if someone were to leave you that 1-star review or a series of bad reviews, guess what? They're automatically brought into your website 9 times out of 10. And that doesn't look good. People are trying to say, show me you're the right company, and then you have a 3.3-star review on your website. You're like, maybe don't show me you're the right company.
Does Google show that real time? Is that a real like if
This
somebody
one's
leaves
probably an integration or plugin, so I'm going to guess this one is live. Whoever's site, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but 9 times out of 10, these integrations are live. Sometimes there might be a delay, or sometimes there's a quarantine where you can limit the access, but most times it's just a feed straight from Google. And it's not, again, bad, just something to be careful or cognizant about.
One thing too, like so total side note, and I see this though, is folks will do the same integration with their Instagram, and then they'll do an Instagram post saying, customers that don't pay on time need to understand that I run a real business too, and I hate slow payers and late payers, and then that shit shows up on your Facebook or it shows up on your feed here, and I'm like, why would you ever publicly say that? Ever. And I'm not saying like on this website, obviously, but man, I've seen people literally post it on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, you don't know, like, Kathy, who runs the HOA that you manage, now thinks that you're targeting her, and that's your $30,000 anchor account. And then the next spring, people say, hey man, I'm getting bid against 3 other people. What do I do? And I go, well, weren't they happy with service? Yeah, I just don't know what's going on. And I go, because you're complaining about slow pairs because some other douche, you know, that's totally unrelated. But now Kathy, who's friends with you, part of the HOA, because that business relationship blended to a personal relationship, which is fine, but now sees that stuff. So like never complain publicly on your Instagram, your Facebook. I might like make like a rant once in a while, but like not really. I mean, you know, they always say keep it as vanilla as possible. You know, I'm probably a little bit more on the edge with what I'm comfortable sharing because like I don't care as much sometimes. But if I was brand new or brand new and like still getting established, I would never say anything otherwise, you know. But you know, just a quick side note. Not so much on Lemir's website. This is you know looks pretty good. I like the colors.
Yeah, so let me talk positives really quickly. Clearly, it's a website that has a lot of information that's going to help for SEO purposes. Again, contact form, that's great. You've got reviews, you've got your hero section, the services. Those are all, you know, clear call to actions. You know, maybe some contrast would help. Kind of like, what do you want them to do right away? Always kind of highlight that. So there's a lot that's going right with this website. My professional opinion is you have the right information, almost maybe a little bit too much information that creates overload, and it could be presented in a more concise fashion and have a bit, you know, the same amount of impact or even more impact because you're condensing things down and just giving people the highlights and kind of stripping away all the extra. So I don't mean to say there's all these bad things. There's great things on this website without a doubt.
Lemire, how do you feel like the website's performing? Are you getting enough leads, or how many leads a month are you getting right now?
This time of year we're getting 5 to 10 a day.
Hell yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
insane. It's insane.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we live in
What
a
kind of
good-
outdoor landscaping are you guys doing? Are you guys doing landscaping too? Obviously, patios.
No, we're mostly just doing weekly mowing, lawn
Okay.
treatments, mosquito tick, and then landscaping when we have time. But spring cleanups we're kind of behind right now because of all the weather.
Yeah, I think that's what I would bring to the top then, because to me, I'm thinking landscaping. I'm thinking do the beds and whatnot versus, you know, like your premier property maintenance company, like located in Lakeville, Massachusetts, or whatever. You know, I'm sure that's a line of code somebody can update in 10 seconds for you guys. But that's awesome. That's awesome. I'd have guys like laying mulch, freshening up the beds, fertilizing, a little sizzle reel playing in the background. I'm telling you, folks, like it's so cheap to get this stuff done nowadays because everybody's doing it. It's awesome. It works in your favor, obviously. Alan, you good? Maybe we can do one more, Adam, really quick. Or
Yeah,
I don't want to keep everybody up all night.
So on this one, really quickly, you know, you hit it, you can see at the very top, there's a top bar, contact us for fall cleanups and winter snow removal. Okay, that's some sort of, again, incentive. You're asking people to do something. That's great. Looks like there's a gallery and a contact us. So right off the bat, picture's pretty grainy on my end. Could be much more professional, but also like you gotta want to connect with the person who's going on there. They probably know they're already going to your website, right? But this image doesn't personally speak to me. Like a house with a fresh, you know, cut grass or a beautiful landscape or something along those lines would probably just connect the person with your company much quicker because we're all visual learners and it's the first thing you see. So that would be one quick recommendation is put a beautiful picture of grass or landscaping, whatever it is that you might be working on. And from there, another thing to consider is I have to scroll down to figure out exactly who you are and what you do. It's called above the fold and below the fold. Above the fold is the things that you see immediately before you have to scroll. Below the fold is everything below your screen, everything you can see after you scroll. And so you want to answer some very key questions above the fold. Who are you? What do you do? How can I help you? What are you know, those basic questions that you want to answer within a matter of a few seconds, like I talked about. So recommendation here is maybe some nicer imagery that connects, but also answer those questions. What do you do and who are you before I even have to scroll? Because people don't like scrolling. It's just the way we live. After that, you get some more information. That's great. This is going to help for SEO purposes, kind of start answering some of those questions. Contact us, kind of an about section with some more relevant photos. This is what I'm talking about. So that's great. Your services, something to consider, maybe like a bulleted list. People don't like reading a whole lot of paragraphs and sentences. Bullets always help. Just again, different layout that makes it easier for people to read. So it might just be a bulleted list of lawn care, stacked, winter snow removal, spring cleanups, and so forth, so forth. So bullets really help. Two, if you're going to use text like this to explain your services, they have their service area on here. That's great. That's going to help for SEO purposes as well. And then answers the question, where do you service? Because you might be a town or a city over, and I don't even know. Ideally, you want to answer that question immediately somewhere within the hero section and not have it buried down here. They have an estimate form, pretty short. And so that's great. Other companies might want to ask for your budget or which services are you interested in, just to get a little bit more information. But everybody's got a different approach to a contact form and what they want. So those are all, good things to have. Social media links, the footers, they're pretty typical. For site mapping purposes, it's extremely important to have the different links to different pages and sections in the bottom. So we always recommend add those same navigation links you have up top into the bottom, because that just helps the performance of the website. Very quickly, let's check out the gallery. Good to have photos. There's 9 photos. In my professional opinion, you don't need a million photos. There's 8 photos here. You want enough. You just want to prove that you're a credible company that does the work. And you want to kind of have a little bit sprinkled in from the different services that you offer, just to prove, again, you can do quality work in whichever service that might be. So there's 8 photos here. They're pretty small. You might want to consider something like a light box where you click on it and it blows up. I can see the detail. People like looking at photos. We all scroll on Instagram or what have you and just look at nice, beautiful photos. So there's some improvements that could be made there. Maybe add a couple more photos. Pretty straightforward though. In contact, it's the same thing from the first page. So, not a whole lot going on this page to talk about, to be honest.
Hey, so I there's a lot of great stuff to work here. I mean, I love what you said. Like, just sometimes just reorganizing stuff, Adam, can make a tremendous difference. A little house cleaning. If you go back to gallery, one thing that I was going to ask you, Adam, and I see both sides, but there's no like company photos of like the truck or the crew or the owner. I love About Us that shows like the owner, or hey, the company angle photo where there's 10 of us all with shovels, and we all look just dirty, grungy. We're in the field after a long day of work. Do you guys suggest company photos or photos in, workers in the field type photos, part of like a gallery list? Does it humanize the team or the crew or the company, or what's the best practices on that one? I'm curious.
Yeah, no, that's such a great question. So, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. We've all heard that, I'm sure. When you're a small business, they want to know who you are, because you're going to be the person taking care of their property, their home, their front yard, their backyard. And, maybe they let you into certain parts of their property that they don't trust other people with. And so if you can put a face behind the name, like, I'm sure you would all love to meet face to face with your, people calling you and talking to you, but you're busy. You're not going to be able to go see every single person. So selling the image of who you are, or your team, your equipment, your trucks, your trailers, just to show that you are, again, a professional
Legitimate.
operation. And as a small business,
Legitimate.
we're here for you, right? We connect visually by showing pictures of who we are in the team. Big businesses, totally different. You don't typically care about them. You care about their products. I don't care about Apple. Do they make the best iPhone or the best whatever? Yup, cool. I don't care about their leadership. Never. Probably not even on their website. Don't even know, don't care. I buy their products, right? Local businesses, small businesses, you might be buying the product and service, but you're also buying the people. So you want to have those nice quality images of you, your team, your equipment. That can go a really long way, in my opinion.
That's solid. That's solid. Yeah, nobody cares who from Brightview if they're doing Brightview as a national company, but you, Totter's Turf, or Levson, you're just out here. It's just you. Like, they want you. You know, so that's a good point. And so I was just going to suggest maybe take a team photo or crew photo, or even you, just maybe out doing work one day. By the way, this if anybody's still listening this far into the webinar and you're just looking for the nuggets, I'll give you another little freebie. That same person, Todd, that's coming out to do that sizzle reel, ask them for digital asset photo assets. You know, it doesn't take them that much longer to switch out a lens on that same camera and to get great quality photos. Let them edit them, let them highlight them, let them touch them up. And instead of these 9 squares that we took off of an iPhone, which by the way, I do the same thing every day too. And that works on Instagram. But like Adam said, you want high res, high megapixel, wide shots, a little bit of editing, right? With a quality camera. You know, that right there does not cost a lot of money. Almost everybody has a photographer friend, guy or girl, that would do it for $100. I mean, literally, literally $100. And so while this looks good,
you just put on the website is all you're trying to say. Just something that you can have more professionally done than your typical, reel or something like that. Just something that's a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more professional, that you can put on your website. That's going to be there. You're not going to change this out, every 3 to 4 months. It's going to be on there for a while. And so to have something that's a little bit more legit might be worth the extra money to do that. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, dude, it's I don't know the best way to say it. Like 1 ounce of this is worth a pound later. $100 today goes a long way, 1,000%. And again, it just establishes more credibility. And by the way, timeline wise, and we'll probably button this up. Timeline wise, this is the best time to get those photos because everybody's lawns look great. Yeah. In about June forward, I don't care if people water, those lawns are going to have burn spot, thin spots, grub damage, shrubs start growing like crazy, mid-season prunings, all the bull crap, dog crap, kids' toys laying out because the kids are out of school. The lawns look the best through May. They're going to be seeding, they're going to be thick. So this is a great time to get photos. Everybody, I'm not a big challenge kind of guy or homework kind of guy because nobody does these things unless they pay $2,000 to do it. Hey, if you want me to put you in a boot camp to challenge you to go be better, I'll make a boot camp available for $2,000 a person. Here's the thing. I don't want your $2,000. Just go take that $2,000, go find a videographer and photographer and get your photos and videos done in the month of May. You got 30 days to do it. Everybody here can do it. Trade mowing for 2 months if you can't afford it. Okay, let's go. So that's what I got. Adam, I think we'll probably button it up right here because it's getting long. I'm getting a text, hey, I need you back up here. So I think we're going to wrap it up tonight. I don't want to get in the doghouse. Liz is super flexible. I love her. I appreciate her, everything she does, obviously. But, got to still make sure the kids are going down at a decent hour on this other mess. It's been, we're down here in Disney. They've been eating nothing but sugar all freaking day and night. So you guys know how it goes. Adam, Lauren, thank you. This is actually really, really good stuff. Don't forget, just swallow the damn fruit, the low-hanging fruit. Lucas will always remind me of that line for the rest of life, probably. Worst goated line on all of any live stream that's ever been said. All right, Adam, where can people find you, sign off? It's not a pitch, obviously, but if people do want to get a website going, you guys got the best sale and promotion I've ever seen in a while. Where can they find you guys?
Yeah, if you guys want to check out, check us out, check out our work, brandableInc.com, or, go to Instagram, hit us up in the DMs, Facebook, email us. Again, whether you guys work with us or not, I mean, obviously I would love for each of you to work with us, but if there's anything we can do to help with a website, graphic design, professional branding, or any other questions about marketing, advertising, we are here to just distill as much information and as knowledge as possible. So please reach out with any questions. We're happy to help however we can.
There you go. Awesome. All right, guys, we'll find them on Instagram, find them at brandableInc.com. And I know there's a question about pricing. There's different packages they can do. There's SEO packages now as well. So didn't want to beat around the bush on that one, but it's so case specific. I know they got the different packages. I haven't kept up with it, but I told Adam too, I'm like, let's not make this a pitch. So if you want to find out how much things cost, just reach out to them if you want to go with them and they can help you out. All right, guys. That's what I got for you. Michael, hopefully that was helpful too with your audit, which is pretty cool. Real time, man. That was cool. And we're all learning tonight, man. So appreciate you guys listening in, watching, hanging, joining, and guess we'll catch up with you guys here soon. All right. Have a good rest of the week. Peace.
Thank you.
All right.